Not gonna lie, these things do start a little bit earlier than expected every week, because they're supposed to start at 11 AM ET, but even the website changes over every so often. But, what is it, week 6 of the 12-year anniversary for Warframe is live. It's 4 hours ago it actually went live. Okay? I've got 3. But, never mind. 6 days, so for the next week, which is why this is Saturday, not Friday, and I have waited, but I couldn't wait any longer. Simply because the Dex Nikana is going to be back for the next week. And this alert is going to be quite fun. Fun to a point I have no idea what I have equipped, and I'm going to do the usual and click the wrong button. No thank you, I want this. Extermination mission, level 12 to level 18 enemies. This is where the new UI does not work at its best, because if I click on this, it will start the mission. It doesn't in fact turn around and say this is melee only, but it is supposed to be melee only, and the only way we can find out is by actually launching it. But when they do these alerts, they tend to be for the Dex Furus, secondary only. For the Cyberus, primaries only. This is not melee only. Really? Weird part is, however, the Sandana mission is a 10-minute survival mission, and in case you couldn't guess from the footage, is melee only. So for some reason I think this is backwards, and somewhere along the line the actual mission for the Dex Nikana has become the mission for the Sandana, because it makes no sense why the Sandana would have a 10-minute survival for it, melee only, and the actual melee weapon wouldn't. Because this is the mission you should do to get a hold of the Dex Nikana. They are just backwards. Will they fix it? I don't know. It is possible that they will, but I think it may also be too late, because anybody who wanted it would have already been on and got it when it was easier to get. So they'll probably leave it as it is, but this is definitely, these missions are backwards. So when I say ridiculously easy, I don't want to make this look like it's too easy, but it is. It's only level 12 enemies. They go down just by luck time, depending on what you have. If you had the Dex Furus, you can do this by quite literally just putting Hornet Strike in there and running around and mowing everybody down. Oh, squad disbanded instantly. After this, you will of course receive the Dex Nikana themselves, and that's where the best part about this is. Free. All you have to do is the mission and you will receive the Dex Nikana. This is one of the best of the Dex weapons there is, because the other ones are 12, 11 and 10 years old. I wish I was kidding, but the first one came out 12 years ago. So they've only released 3. This was the 4th Dex weapon. Everything else is cosmetic. This is also, sad to say, the last weapon that will be available. I do believe, I'll have to check this one, but Dex Cyberus was week 2, week 4 was the weapon skin, last week was the Dex Furus, and this week is the Dex Nikana. The one to do, but not the main reason to do this. The main reason is if you have it, you get a free weapon slot. If you don't particularly want it, do it anyway, because you get a free weapon slot. When you sell it, you get to keep the weapon slot. It is assigned to you, it goes nowhere. It is all yours to keep forever. Even if you sell the weapon, you get to keep it. There is, of course, the Sandana as well, but more importantly, next week is an Umbra forma. But a little bit less, fortunately than that, this whole weekend will be a double Affinity weekend. Meaning, all Tenor acquire Affinity at double the rate for the weekend. It ends on, I want to say the 12th. Though if I read that right, that said 17th. I don't know where I got 17th. It is the 14th, April the 14th. at 10:59 a.m. Meaning, you'll get double the affinity. Double affinity weekend. But if you have one of those running at the same time, which is an affinity booster, obtainable from the marketplace, you can quite literally pick one up. I think it's 40? I want to say 40. Why do I second guess myself constantly about... Well, obviously, as I demonstrated earlier, well, for some reason my brain said 17th, but I know it wasn't the 17th, so did have to go back and check, and it was the 14th. Yes, it is 40. You can pick up a 3-day booster that will last for the entirety of this event ongoing, meaning your double affinity that you get from this will be doubled by the weekend booster. Or we'll put it as the double affinity weekend will be doubled, meaning you will not receive double the affinity, you will in fact be receiving the double affinity doubled. So it's 4 times the affinity for the next 2 days. Rest of Saturday, all of Sunday, and Monday morning. This did of course include Friday, but doing the Barrow video, I don't want to really put 2 videos up in a day. I'm fighting the urge not to, because this one's kind of important. If you have anything you are trying to level up, now is, of course, the time to do so. Prime example of this, of course, would be the Coda weapons, mainly because you don't just level these things up once to get them mastered, you have to level them up once and then forma them 5 times to actually get them to level 40 for them to be done. A system that, just like a lot of other people, I was hoping they would maybe change, because there are people who still haven't leveled up and mastered a lot of the other adversary weapons, because 5 forma makes this expensive and very, 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 very time consuming. But if you do have some you want to work on, this weekend may be the time to do so. Not forgetting, of course, Minerva does have 4 other weapons that are actually being slightly overlooked by the fact the battle list was added that made that and that completely and utterly useless. Not to mention the fact that the Mars 8 was overlooked by the 88, Riot 88, and the dual wielding new one, or the fact that the dual viscous was overlooked by the Coda Motivore, because that is apparently an amazing weapon, despite the fact that, what am I using, the Haruda? The Harudo, in my opinion, is way better because it has a higher attack speed. But to kind of to each their own, but just don't forget, it is the last weapon that will actually be here. The last 2 weeks of this will in fact contain none of the new weapons. They have all been here at this point, and the double affinity weekend will end April 14th. But it's okay. Oh, I was about to say next week. Next Friday, we will in fact have an Umbra format alert that, in my opinion, should be a built one, but for some reason is a blueprint. This is the 12-year anniversary, and what they are doing is giving you a blueprint. Seems kind of insulting, but hey, let us know what you think in the comments section below. But with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.